being comfortable with what's uncomfortable. No excuse. If you are not extreme in what you do, then why are you doing it? You are now watching the Kris LaBelle Show. See this, guys? I am the klutziest human being on the face of this earth. Did you guys see my Instagram today? It was pretty hilarious. I put on a reel, my first reel. Yeah, I've changed things up. I'm adapting, right? I realize right now people are doing more video than photo. Because I mean, ultimately photos are altered, right? Even I'm guilty of it. I alter a photo or two. I'll be the first guy to admit it. I'll be the first guy to say, I've been there. I have Photoshop. I've got Lightroom. I've got this other little app I want to tell you about because it's too good. It's a great mobile app, takes 2 seconds, back, boom, boom, right? And what do we edit? What do we change? What makes us uncomfortable about ourselves that we don't want anyone to see, yet we post ourselves? That's what's mind-blowing about this world we're living in right now. We spend so much conscious time on our social media. I do, I'm guilty of it. I'll be the first guy to say it. I spend a lot of time on my social media. I put a lot of effort and energy into the posts I make. Today, for the first time in the longest time that I can remember, I posted a random cell phone quality video of myself in the mountains, being a mountain man, the mountain man, Kris LaBelle, smoking a joint, and my jetboil tipped over and caught flames and engulfed. I couldn't have even scripted that shit. I was like, fuck! Right now, I'm just trying to see what gets lit faster, me or this water. See, it's supposed to boil in a minute. Right now, oh! Shit, what do I do? Yeah. That's on camera. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yo, I stayed calm, right? I didn't freak out. Turned it off, grabbed.
Nescafe's gone.
What? Nescafe gone. I didn't know what to do. I was thinking about the forest fires instantly. Like, as a dad, that's what I was doing. I was thinking about, my son. That's the first thought I had. I was like, oh, my son. And then it was weird, but I also then can't have my son as like embolize the forest. And I thought, I don't want to harm the forest. And this is all just mere seconds from each other, the thoughts, just. And I know I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, I stayed calm, but for me, that was pretty calm. And if you were alone, well, Ali was with me, Ali Charkie, our fighter, and he was dying of laughter. This guy's dying. He's like, is that on camera? Wallow, bro, tell me that's on camera, bro. Oh my God, bro, crazy. And then he's like, dude, you got it. And then he was like, there's no Nescafe. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, this guy only cared about that I ruined the last Nescafe. That's like a fighter's brain. Like, yo, Wallah, that was hilarious. You almost burnt the forest down. Yo, buddy, you're okay, good. Where's the Nescafe? Like, that's all the guy cared about. And I was like, I had to explain to him that I didn't use the Nescafe. I didn't put it in yet. He was jubilant. And he jumps up, fucking rights, bro. Fuck, man, let's make some fucking Nescafe. I'm like, let me process that. I almost like blew us up. But the jetboil, I will say this for jetboil, what a great product. You light under any condition. You can boil water within a minute. And I had a real situation where the jetboil tipped over, okay? You guys, it tipped over. It engulfed in flames, and it shot out like a jet engine, like a hot air balloon. But because of the design, I was able to get my fingers close enough to like this, like, what do you call it? What do you call that? What do you call it? Like a nozzle, a measure, a reader. What is that fucking thing, bro? A knob. Takes one to know one. A knob. And this thing's engulfed, but the knob and the accessibility to it was safe. So I was able to get the knob and turn it down, and it went off. It was a crazy moment. Yes, it was just a jetboil that engulfed. But for me, I was thinking about the danger element because I'm a dad now. So I was thinking about safety instantaneously, the endangerment of the forest and how careless could I have been. But the video does start with me smoking cannabis. I'm not saying that cannabis is an unsafe substance to use. I would suggest to use more of it, perhaps. But it wasn't cannabis. It was me. I'm a klutz. I'm the klutziest human being alive. I lose my bank card probably like 5-6 times a day. I'm constantly saying, I'll e-transfer you. Don't worry, I'll get this. And I do it. I do e-transfer everybody back, but I lose my bank card. I don't carry ID. Last weekend, I was in Edmonton for Unified MMA. I had 2 spectacular fighters on the card. Of course, Ali Charkie, my dog, my Northeast homie, my Lebanese brother, 1-0 fighter. We've been working hard at building his brand. And then I took on a new fighter from Alavanca, Max Stroud, the Viking, Ragnar. This guy's like a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. He's won tournaments. He's a ferocious human being, and he's a great dude. Together, him and Ali look like Leonidas from the movie 300, and then Mac looks like Ragnar from Vikings. And together, they're so, as the promoter, marketer guy, like, fuck. Talk about Brendan. Talk about content. Talk about success. We went into battle. The weigh-ins were incredible. Mac and I left to Edmonton from Calgary around 1:30. The weigh-ins are at 4 o'clock. His ride was unable to take him, so I had to leap into action, get a vehicle, make arrangements for my son, and then storm off to Edmonton. And I don't speed, right? Because it's stupid. There's a lot of fucking sheriff on the highway. Like, why speed? Like, you could do 130 or you could do 118 and get there within minutes from each other. So don't speed. It's stupid, right? It's always the same fucking guy speeding away. Fucking, you ever been behind a guy with a diesel truck? It's fucking making so much noise. You're trying to enjoy the canola fields, the yellow fields. You just want to relax. You don't want to fucking have anybody interrupt you. The son of a bitch is just fucking racing up. Bro, where are you going? To Ponoka? Fuck, you'll be there in 2 minutes, bro. You belong in Ponoka. Or we're Bowden. Bro, at the end of the day, homies in Bowden, what's good? Where the fuck are you going, though, man? Why do you need a diesel truck? Not to shit on anybody with a diesel truck or a big truck or a truck that's got over 500 horsepower. I get it. I understand. But at the new world, doesn't it seem so unnecessary in this new world? Like, there are some things that have become excessive in the new world, beside, lip injections. Like, there's a lot of things that are just too much excess, right? Bodybuilding as well. Like, I mean, fuck, how big do you need to fucking be in bodybuilding? Like, it's not about the biggest fucking guy who can hold the most oil under his fucking skin, right? Not about the fact that you can eat. Bodybuilders, what are you doing? You don't look like the 90s bodybuilders. They were the fucking best generation of bodybuilding. I'm sorry. But the symmetry of a 90s bodybuilder is just so much more favorable than the physiques that their guys are coming out with today. Yes, you're powerfully strong. You're incredibly built. But I don't know if I'm old school or not, but I just love the 90s physique, okay? I love the 90s generation of the Olympia. Just the way the guys were built, the hardness, the definition, with the size they had was obtainable. Today's bodybuilder, I don't relate to. It's not that I don't train that hard. Maybe I'm too old to get that big, but aesthetically, it's not appeasing. It just doesn't do it for me. I respect the amount of hustle that goes into bodybuilding. Doesn't matter what decade you're in. It's discipline. Crazy fucking discipline. I've been disciplined this year. I've had to, by disease, by lifestyle, by our current living situation that we're all enduring. So I had to make life choices. I had to be disciplined. I quit drinking, and then LK's like, yeah, you posted you had a beer the other day. If I have 1 beer in 60 fucking days, that's pretty damn good considering I had 12 a day for 40 fucking years. Yeah, man, I'm a dude that drank a lot, right? I'm fucking, trust me, man, I started drinking at 12. I've drank for a minute. I've had tons of booze in my system. I remember the first time I ever got in real trouble with my mom. It wasn't for any kind of criminality. I fucking got carried home and dropped off somebody's shoulders on my back door, hammered out of my mind, Thunder Bay style. Fuck, my mom opens the door, this little 4'11". What the fuck is going on? Hey, Mrs. LaBelle, your kid. Boom, just dropped me down at the back door of my house. See, in those days, we didn't go to front doors, we went to back doors. So people go, they go to the back door. You don't go to the front door, you go to the back. I use back alleys, I drive through back alleys. People are like, dude, why are we taking alleys? I don't give a fuck. I'd rather drive in an alley. That's what the alley is, it's a second road. Use the alley, okay? Use the alley. Instead of waiting in traffic, you fucking guys who sit there in traffic and dilate all day, you gotta keep it moving, that's the trick. That's the trick to survival. You gotta keep it moving, you gotta adapt, you gotta pivot, you gotta move, fucking move, breathe. You see, I never talked about the outcomes of the fights. I talked about the fact that Mac and I had to get there last second. They just announced the championship bout. And the fighters went off the stage and we're standing there, we just raced in, mask on, mask off, don't know what the fuck's going on, just fucking in there, we're there in the venue. And right as we walk in, the announcer's like, and we're bringing it back to the amateur side of things. All right, coming to the scale right now. And it was almost divine how we got there. The Ragnar theory just became even stronger. The whole Valhalla, Odin is with us, became even more evident. For I do speak with Odin on an often occasion. I do align my energies with Odin and Vikings. There's no question. You can look at my lineage. My grandmother was part Norwegian. I just don't talk about that because I look how I look. Lebanese. And I'm Italian from Thunder Bay. My dad's French. My last name's LaBelle. It's not like an Italian name. So I don't know who I identify with. I don't think any of us do. We are constantly altering our appearances anyways and manipulating our social media to be somebody fucking we're not. So who gives a fuck? Genealogy doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, blood, it's all we have. It's beneath our skin, runs through our veins. It's the spirituality and the energy that we harness each and every day. It's the frequencies we vibrate on. That's what's happening. You want to align yourself with people that are so fixated on propaganda, that's all you can talk about each and every day? That's the virus, is communicating to each other about something that's unpleasant. It's not positive, it's not productive. It doesn't lead us into a direction or a solution to it. We're just condoning it. It's too much. You gotta have a positive way about things. I didn't come up easy. Everyone got, oh, I came up tough. Yo, fuck, I did. I don't even talk about it. It was just tough. And I grew up in a time like in the 80s when like there were no rules. There were no rules in the 80s. Strong survived during those times. I lived in a time when I'm big, you're small was what mattered. I'm rich, you're poor. It still exists. It's just more discreetly covered up. I lived in a strange time. It was amazing, it was excessive, it was loud, and it was fun. There was no inhibitions. People didn't think twice about being nice. You were just nice. That's what we do in 2021, aren't we? Is that what we're doing? Are we really as generally as kind as we appear? The conversations that we make and the energy that we communicate about? Most times I say yes, I want to believe in humanity that we do. But sometimes it's a facade. We're fucking saying what's up to the same people each and every day. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care you were sick. I don't give a fuck. I worry about me. We all do. Deep down inside, we're all just worried about ourselves. Yeah, we help other people if it helps us. Sure, I'm a nice guy on camera. I have road rage just like the next of you. It's just mine's a couple decibels higher. I tend to snap. I tend to snap at a lot of things. But I'm the nicest guy I know. I care about people. If someone does a contract with me for sponsorship, advertising, we have an agreement, I do my very best to comply and to be successful in that. I will comply to that. I'll comply for honor. I'll comply for integrity. I will make sure that your product is delivered enthusiastically and well crafted. I'm not a man that has a script. I'm not even wearing fucking shoes. Give a fuck. These pants, 2 years old. This jacket doesn't have a zipper. This shirt was $9.99. My haircut, my boy Eddie, Razor's Edge and Marta Loop, that's legit. Fucking makes the old man look good. My skin, man, I gotta thank Foundation for that. But I also have to thank my friend Ilana in Kensington at Rejuve, who has a machine called Reform. Excuse me, I keep calling it Reform. It's called Forma. And it reforms your face. It pulls all the collagen up to the top of the skin. It plumps you up, red blood cells everywhere. You look incredible. It's like a facelift for the next 2 to 3 weeks of your life for a really reasonable price. You should hit her up. This forehead, come on. This forehead, these lines, they're gone. Thanks to my friend Angela Kane at Kane Medical Aesthetics. She takes incredible care of me. She's a beautiful woman. Half the time I go in there, she won't even do anything. She's like, no, you don't need it. I love her for that. My friend Ilana, she does the Forma. And I'm like, oh man, I need it. I look so tired. She's like, You look great. You know, how are you? And we communicate and talk about our soul. That's what more people should do, connect. Angela and I will do a little Botox, that's about it. And then we sit and talk for half an hour about life. And that's what makes me feel better. That's what makes me feel rejuvenated. Connection, communication, saying hi. I don't got all day to hear your story, but I have time to say hi. I'm here to love. I have a lot of love to give. My son gets the most of it. Yeah, you see that? Body language? It's not easy being a dad of a 14-year-old. If I have one confession to say is we make it look good. But behind the scenes, my son and I online the other day were here doing jujitsu, well, our form of it. And like, we chose to roll because we're gonna thump each other out one day. We're LaBelles. It's what we do. We argue, we fight, we're angry people at times when we're actually very caring and gracious and very appreciative of the things we have. But we do scrap because we're tough and we don't ever quit. So when you don't have an agreement with someone, especially father and son, it's intense and we sometimes bicker. It sucks. We say things, I even say things that I regret. So son, I love you. And the times that I've been too demanding as a parent, I take ownership for that. And I hope that you're good. I hope that you're well. Your friends seem kind. And that's most important. In your school, they email me and they tell me you're doing well in school, that's good. They say that you've changed and you've come a long way and you're a great athlete. But I have a lot of love. And sometimes I've wasted it on the wrong people. We all do that. You can't regret it. You can't burden yourself with that. We all make mistakes. We all love the wrong people from time to time. It's a reality check. It's just how it is. Right? We want so much, but we give so little. The universe needs us right now the most, this planet. Like, fuck everything else. Like, if the ecosystem crashes, we're fucking done for. All the science in the world, you could talk about today's science, what people are really discussing, the stats and all that bullshit. I have to take a drink of water. And just so you guys know, this is what I drink every fucking day when I can find it. Natural spring water from Shoppers Drug Mart, which I go to every day. It's part of my routine. My hydration is the key to my health. I drink one of these a day. That's 4 liters. I try to consume 4 liters of water a day. I find hydration helps me greatly. Over here, I have some sage. I use it from time to time. My friend Nicole told me to use sweetgrass. I find the sweetgrass harder to burn, just a physical thing. I love the smell of it just as is. It's beautiful to look at, braided. When I resonate to it, it doesn't really resonate with me well, but this does. And when I smudge with sage, it helps. It doesn't matter what culture you are, doesn't matter what denomination you are, this is cleansing. We all have the same soul. Doesn't matter what's around it. Utilize it, be mindful, make sure you help people. Every now and then, I get a little blasted for this, but psilocybin is the future. And mushrooms are incredible. And I promote them and I talk about them because they have serious health benefits, mental mostly, especially in a time where we're not doing very well. I'm striving so hard to get guests on the show and be organized. I have a bison bone broth business plan to create right now that I have financing for, and I can't even get focused on it, but I know what it's gonna sell. So if you are good at business plans and you're good at organization and you're an interested entrepreneur that's ready to go into a new endeavor, I got ideas that tend to be really good. But if I had the right team around me to kind of keep me focused and structured and provide that professionalism, I'm always professional, by the way, but professionalism in regards to like administrative stuff, execution, copywriting, be able to format and draft up business plans and proposals and agendas, I need that. I'd hire that. If you're that person, I need you. I have a designer, he's incredible. Uriel Lubak from Thunder Bay, great dude. LK, as you know, king, fucking king. Don't have to pump him anymore. I'm really happy to have people in my life like Alavanca. We're here at my friend Tim Blanchard's gym. And Tim also has a company called Uller Outfitters. He's a licensed outfitter, which means he can take you hunting anywhere in Alberta as long as the permit requires it and he can do it. And he'll take you on the greatest trip of his life. And it's got a razor, he's got this, I know it's called a razor, it's called a Side by side, my apologies. He's got a dope ass side by side. His stepfather drove it all the way from Sudbury here. It was like a bonding moment, lasted 5 minutes. They had a Coors Light and they hugged and that was it. Fucking men. They didn't even, I don't know if they even like each other, but it was cool. It was a nice offering. I wish my stepdad would do something like that. I don't even see the fucking guy. He's Scottish. Sounds like Sir William Braveheart. Acts like him too. In fact, he could be the descendant of William Wallace. Here, laddie. Don't you see the snow in the driveway? You think it's going to shovel itself, laddie? Here to your shovel. Get out there and fucking take care of the snow, bloody hell. Hey, laddie. He was so crazy, so angry at me all the time, and I never understood because I was such a happy kid. Every time I was playing Nintendo, just sit in this fucking room. My sister moved out because we're poor, so I'd get her. That's what poor people do. Sibling moves out, the room becomes the rec room. The rec room? That's where I played Nintendo, watched movies. I'd sit there, and my stepdad never understood what Nintendo was, so we'd call it the doot machine. You're fucking daft. But because of his child-raising abilities, made me hard, made me a man, made me strong, learned how to take ownership, learned how to like skill sets, trades. I'm generally a highly distracted individual that kind of just floats through life. Not floats because I'm lazy, I just float every day. I'm there, but I'm not, right? I don't want to be here in this physical world much longer. I know that there's another place to be. How to get there? Well, that is the great question that far greater men than I have quested for. Men that have had empires quested for. Because ultimately they come to a realization that this is nothing more than mere physical world, this materialistic world, this monetary world still run by finance, capitalism, greed. Where's spiritualism? Why don't we talk about what really is going on? Right here. Doesn't matter if you sell homes or you're a life coach or you work at Lululemon. We're all the same. I chose Lululemon because I really like the fit of their pant. It just hugs the glutes. Don't put that on there. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. If the people that are around you, your top 5, they're not succeeding, they're miserable, cut them loose. 2 of my top 5 are not benefiting my life in a sense that I'm going to be in a position of success financially. They're not the kind of people that are going to get me where I want spiritually, even emotionally. But one is family and one is dependable. And in this new world, blood is always thicker than water. It's even if they're not aligned with you with the same kind of opinions and same work ethic, it's family. You grunt, you bear it, you take them on, you take on their burden, and you encourage them. You don't give up on family. Because it could be the other way around. I've been alone, right? My mom passed in 2011. She's the best friend to this day. I've never had a woman, I never had anybody in my life like my mom. She's on my hand. She's the greatest woman I know, Kris LaBelle. I wouldn't be here, but I look just like her. That's the only reason I'm decent looking. My dad was a handsome guy, but he was never around. Bob. My dad, Bob LaBelle, disowned me. Well, disown's a strong word, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Jesus Christ, Christopher! He was angry all the time. Be hungover. He'd always read the newspaper when I got dropped off at his place. My mother would drop him off, try to make this relationship with my alcoholic dad. He'd always have the newspaper up, and I know he was just fucking hiding behind it, wanting me to shut the fuck up and stop. Like I was crazy as a kid. I was undiagnosed with a bunch of mental illness. It was nuts. Like fucking nuts, man. Climb the walls, run into the walls. I'm always hurt, just fucking bruised. Not from any kind of physical family violence, just my own doing. What's it like to dive down these stairs? I found out everything the hard way. Whiteout, I should smell it. Pam, I should huff it. Yeah. I did things that nobody would dream of doing, but I did it. I was obsessed with Lego. If there was Lego, there could be a fucking fire. I wouldn't give a shit as long as I could build something. Lego kept me occupied. Lego was amazing. Maybe the world needs Lego. And the Beatles. I rediscovered the Beatles as of late. And I've been listening to the Beatles. They're beautiful. The lyrics are incredible. I love it. I think the world needs to listen to more Beatles. Their music actually is still highly relevant. And even the sound and the BPMs and the way it's recorded, it's like already got built-in auto-tune back in those days. So if you listen to like Flora Cash and that kind of stuff, it's pretty reasonable to that speed. It's indie, it's trendy, it's got a message, beautiful message. Listen to the Beatles. Meditate, try your best. I know people talk about meditation, but it's not that fucking hard, man. Just being at a red light, close your eyes for 10 seconds. Then if there's a maniac like me behind you and the light turns green, your eyes are still red, or closed, I will fucking smash my horn at you. Just as long as you're not using your cell phone, then you know you did well, right? People that drive and text, you're causing the accidents. You know it. DUIs, people don't drink and drive anymore. I mean, they do, but drinking and driving, we've come a long way as a society. Morally, integrity, and law, I think there's less drinking and driving now than there's ever been. But distracted driving? Holy fuck, you guys. I'm guilty of it. I text and drive. But I've cut down. I don't do it much anymore. This ain't a lecture, but I think that we should be more mindful of that. I think whatever it is you need to look at on Instagram can wait the 8 minutes till you get to McDonald's, right? Or Tim Hortons, or where the fuck you're going, home. Be nice to have a home to go to. You know, we all strive for something in life. There is no right or wrong. You know, I think when I do these podcasts, I'm always like, man, I better get this many views, this many likes, this many comments. Okay, I boosted it on this Google page. I really hope that the schematics and the analytics work correctly, right? It's a small business. We all are in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. That's my term this year. Vaxxed or not vaxxed, doesn't matter. Same boat, same direction. Might as well get along, work together. Obviously, we're in a world that's motivated by capitalism. It is what it is. I mean, you go to Canmore, right outside Banff, they're fucking blowing up mountains for minerals. Like, they're cutting down rainforests in Vancouver Island, right? They're using pesticides on everything that we eat. The water's polluted. Like, wake up. Everything we put into our bodies is healthy as you could be, gluten-free, it has low sodium. It's vegan, friendly. Doesn't matter. At the same time, at the end of the day, it's still being created by machinery. There's no touch to it. And the small craft stuff's beautiful, but like you can't, if you don't do it by numbers, there's really not much return in that. Your ROI just goes down the drain. I know a lot about business. I've had multiple businesses. I've been well off and I have been flat broke to the point where people drop groceries off to my house. And I had a house, but it wasn't even mine. Maybe I was behind in rent. Sometimes I fucking CJ92 had to donate me a bed this year. It's feast or famine in my life. And under these circumstances, like as a man that fights for everything, there's not much to fight right now because there's too much bureaucracy. I sometimes don't say words correctly, but I feel it, man. It's today, you know, I went out to eat. I had to show information that I was allowed to be out in public spaces. And it was hard. You know, being in Edmonton this weekend was an incredible opportunity to witness two young fighters go to war, combat, and take all their skill sets and everything they learned in their studios and with their sensei and all the hard work and training to build the muscle, the discipline, the dieting, the weight cut, and to get in there and do what they do. It's an incredible process, incredible journey to watch. And, you know, Mac was first up on the card as an amateur, and, you know, he fought a guy named John, I can't think of your last name, John, don't kill me. And John was over at Cardinal MMA, trained by Brad Cardinal, good friend of mine. And we're over here at Alavanca, aligned gyms, we're good with each other, but in this fight world, there's not many guys that want to do five, so they had to fight each other. And Mac prepared for him, and John prepared for Mac, and they went to war. And, you know, I think John was a little stronger than Mac imagined, and Mac, I thought, you know, came in looking like gosh darn Ragnar. And he's such a great dude. And he's just so fucking big and strong and talented in jiu-jitsu. And he faced like a man that was ready for him. Life. Doesn't matter what life's name is. In this case, it was John. But Mac faced life. All the braids and fucking tattoos and big muscles and the ranking in jiu-jitsu. When it came down time for battle, Mac was in the battle of his life. And he fought all he could. And even my great Viking fell and lost an amateur bout. And we went on to the main card, UFC Fight Pass. Ali was one of the earlier fights on the card. He's 1-0. He had a tremendous battle with his first fight. Left the man quite battered, but humbly healthy. And Ali suffered no injury. So we decided that we're gonna fight again, 185, and he fought. And tremendous first round, tremendous. We have some highlights that will be rolling as I'm communicating through this, but it was a tremendous first round. And on this one spot, he just shot in for a takedown, and man, was it fast. Man, did he look strong. Threw some great leg kicks. Physically, he's such a well-built guy, and he looks the part. He looks like a UFC fighter, and the guy he trained against, I must say, Chris Chapman came ready to rock. And Ali faced a really tough opponent, a guy that's had over 10 amateur bouts, or some professionals, 3-2. And Chris came in prepared, and those two guys went to war. And sadly, by the third round, my very good friend, my brother that we thought would never lose, he lost. And it was almost like watching a movie when your hero, who you feel like is unbeatable, and you've never seen him hurt or struggle, and he fucking did everything he could to stay on his feet for his people, and they're chanting his name, Ali, Ali. The whole place was chanting his name. They didn't want him to lose, but they also didn't want him to give up. And that's what he did. He never gave up. He might have lost that fight, but he never gave up. For some reason, his stamina just didn't hold up to his energy, to his exertion, to his training. But he fought like a lion to the end. And it takes a big man to stand up from a loss that he didn't expect. A guy that was 1-0, we had merch, he's coming out, he's got promo videos, like this guy's a rising star. And you promote a man like that, and I did, and I will, and I'll continue to do so. But to watch your hero, to watch a guy you've groomed, to build, you see his training, you believe in him, to lose. It takes a lot of humility. And yeah, maybe integrity is the word. Not the first word, but integrity and ownership. And take that accountability to rise up and succeed. And instead of hiding, instead of laying low, pitying, loathing, by Monday, Ali and I are in the fucking mountains, meditating and enjoying our day. I'll let him tell you the rest.
Winning's not loyal to you, and you got to understand that, you might take a loss. You just got to know how to take it and, get better with it.
Do you feel that you counted the chickens before the eggs hatched?
I don't think too much of that, but like I trained my ass off. I didn't slack in any of that. I trained my ass off. But that's the thing about losing too. Sometimes when you lose, you don't have to lose somebody who's better than you or someone who trained harder than you. Sometimes you train harder than that person, you're more about it than that person, but at the end of the day, you come short. You fall short and you lose. But that does not mean that person's better than you. You just had a bad night. You just had a bad night at the office,
My man.
It's who's gonna get back up and keep, fighting, trying to make it better.
On the way out to the mountain, we stopped in Bragg Creek at the trading post. He happened to encounter a nice, beautiful woman that owns this place. It's been there, she's a resident for years. Deadly little cabin. Inside, she had furs. And Ali saw a white fox. He's like, I want that. But then he stopped, and he said, "Do you have wolf?" And wolf, for those that don't know, are not endangered. They're actually high numbers. And in the hunting world, you're allowed to shoot a wolf any time of the year without a tag, in Alberta, that is. Because there's a lot of them, same as coyotes. So wolves are strong, they're good, they're resilient. They never give up, and they're smart, and lethal when pushed. And in a pack, they're invincible. And he looked at her and said, "Could you get me a black wolf fur? Something I could wear over my shoulder to my next fight." Does that sound like a man giving up on himself? I don't think so. That's a man envisioning his future as a champion. Whether it's looking too far ahead or whether it's manifesting the success that he wants. It's how you choose. It's your scope, your lens, it's your perspective, your opinion. Ultimately, I think we should be encouraging people that think big, that want to go beyond, that push themselves to limits that seem unreasonable to you, but for us, general everyday behavior, pushing ourselves past our boundaries, being comfortable with what's uncomfortable. No excuse. If you are not extreme in what you do, then why are you doing it? We're gonna be here every Thursday, 8 p.m. For whom the bell tolls, for those who live strong, for those who are kind, and for those that are honest, for those who believe and still hold faith in humanity. I'm just one man. What would I give to be able to give back? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for support and help. Thank you all for tuning in each and every week. Thank you all for, when you see me in the streets, you come up and you hug me, we embrace. Thank you, Calgary, for showing love. See you guys next week. Right as the truck goes by, vroom, vroom, and it's done.